Recording in progress.
Sean, ready? Good evening. We will call the Auburn City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 to order. We will begin with a land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge the federally recognized Muckleshoot Indian tribe, the ancestral keepers of the land we are gathered on today. We thank them for their immense contributions to our state and local history, culture, economy, and identity as Washingtonians. The council meeting for this evening will be held both in person and virtually. Now, if you'd all please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And Sean, will you please call roll?
Deputy Mayor Rakes.
Here.
Councilmember Ammer.
Here.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Excused.
Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Here.
Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
Here.
Councilmember Trot Manuel.
Here.
Thank you. All right. Under announcements and proclamations and presentations this evening, there is nothing on the agenda, but we do have one item, and it is an announcement. And this is from Councilmember Larry Brown. It is with deep regret that I must tender my resignation as Auburn City Councilman as of February 18th, 2025. It has been my honor to serve with fellow council members, and I wish you all the best. Warmest regards, Larry Brown. So I want to give you a little bit of background on Larry. He began his first term on the Auburn City Council on January 1st, 2018. He has been the president of the Washington State Labor Council, which represents over 550,000 union workers across the state of Washington. He also worked in the aerospace industry for over 40 years and worked for the union for another 23. Larry served on the board for Communities in Schools of Auburn, and he was also a Board of Trustees member for Green River College. As a past member of the King County Airport Roundtable Advisory Board at Boeing Field, he worked to protect the airport to ensure its continued operations. He also served as co-chair of the Washington Workforce Training and Education Coordinating Board. Larry was also a member of the governing board for Valley Regional Fire Authority. Larry is blessed to be married to his wife, Donna. They have 2 grown children, Kara and Gregory, and 5 grandchildren. He is an avid fan and a season ticket holder of the Seattle Seahawks. I have no doubt Larry will still be cheering for the Seahawks, whether in person or at home. But it has been an honor to serve with Larry. He was deputy mayor at the beginning of 2024. And Larry served this city with dignity, with respect, and with a common goal of making sure that he left the city better than he found it. And I would say that he accomplished each and every one of those goals and then some. We will see Larry from time to time. It's unfortunate, though, that he felt the need to resign from council, but he wishes everyone the very best. I know I am going to miss seeing my friend on a regular basis and wish him and his family nothing but health, happiness, and everything else that he desires. With that resignation, council will invoke Section 13 of your council rules of procedure on how to move forward with a council position vacancy. I'm not going to go through the entire Section 13, but I will read 13.1. If an unexpired council position becomes vacant, the City Council has 90 days from the occurrence of the vacancy to appoint, by majority vote of a quorum of the remaining members of the council, which would mean at least 4 council members, a qualified person to fill the vacancy pursuant to state law. The council may make such appointment at its next regular meeting or at a special meeting called for that purpose. If the council does not appoint a person within the 90-day period, the county may appoint a qualified person to fill the vacancy as provided by RCW 42.12.070 and Council Rules 13.3 through 13.20. The city clerk's office shall prepare and submit a display advertisement to the city's official newspaper, and there is a process that city council will follow. As per your council rules of procedure, there is no ad hoc committee necessary or required for this. If there are more than 10 completed applications, each city council member will submit to the city clerk an unranked list of the candidates the council member wishes to move forward in the process. If there are 10 or less, all of those names will be brought forward, and the aggregated list shall be provided to council during the executive session prior to the interview meeting. If less than 10 completed applications are received, the council will move forward with all of those processing with the applicants. Okay, so there will be more to come on that, but just a reminder, since this does not happen often, although Deputy Mayor Rakes was appointed to fill a vacancy that was created by Representative Chris Stearns leaving to serve in the state legislature. And the process changed with your last council rules of procedure update. So we will move forward with that and confirm that the process will be completed within 90 days so that the county does not have to take this on. All right. We will move to appointments. First one tonight is Auburn Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. City Council to approve the reappointment of Elizabeth Burton to the Auburn Lodging Tax Advisory Committee for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Riggs.
I move to approve Elizabeth Burton to the Auburn Lodging Tax Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Riggs.
I always like it when I see people that want to get reappointed and stay on their boards and commissions, so I'm very excited that Elizabeth has chosen to do that.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the reappointment of Elizabeth Burton to the Auburn Lodging Tax Advisory Committee for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Elizabeth Burton has been reappointed to the Auburn Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. Next is the Business Improvement Area, or BIA Committee. City Council to approve the appointment of Rachel Perry and Trevor Schneckloth to the BIA Committee for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Riggs.
I move to approve Rachel Perry and Trevor Schneckloth to be appointed to the BIA Committee for a 3-year term.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Ammer.
I second, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Riggs.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm really excited to add these 2 new people to the business improvement area. They've been looking for some members for a while, and I think it's going to be very good for that committee.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the appointment of Rachel Perry and Trevor Schneckloth to the BIA Committee for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Rachel Perry and Trevor Schneckloth are appointed to the BIA Committee. Next is the Cemetery Board. City Council to approve the appointment of Bridget Jones to the Cemetery Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. I would move to approve the appointment of Bridget Jones to the Cemetery Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Ammer.
I second, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. Excited to have Ms. Jones join the board as a pastor with Messiah Lutheran Church in our community. I think she's someone who understands what it means for families who are going through difficult periods and grieving, and so being able to bring that experience to the cemetery board, I think will bring, great direction and insight. Thanks.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the appointment of Bridget Jones to the Cemetery Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Bridget Jones is appointed to the Cemetery Board. Final appointment, Parks and Recreation Board. City Council to approve the appointment of John Boatman to the Parks and Recreation Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I would move to approve the appointment of John Boatman to the Parks and Recreation Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Boatman would be joining our Parks and Rec Board, bringing with him experience as a capital projects manager with Clover Park School District, as well as having been a coach in his free time, and with the types of things that we do in our parks, which is a lot of facilities, a lot of space and place, I think that's a great fit. So looking forward to having him on board. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions or comments? All those in favor of the appointment of John Boatman to the Parks and Recreation Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. John Boatman is appointed to the Parks and Recreation Board. Sean, do we have any agenda modifications this evening?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. We will move to audience participation. This is the place on the agenda where the public is invited to speak to the City Council on any issue. Do we have any written comments for this evening?
Yes, Your Honor. April Lewis provided comments regarding their positive experience working with the Auburn Valley Humane Society and the management staff. And Luana Thorpe expressed her concerns regarding the Auburn Valley Humane Society and the safety of the staff.
Thank you. Do we have any online commenters?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we will move to in-person comments. For those of you in person, we ask that you go to the podium, state your name and city of residence for the record, and please limit comments to 3 minutes. There will be a clock that you can see to count down the time if you think you might be running long. Is there anyone that would like to speak this evening? Yes, sir, please come forward. That is a great tie, by the way.
Thank you. Used to be my daughter's prom dress, yet now is a new life. So thank you for inviting me here. Madam Mayor, esteemed city council members, my name is Elder Montag. My wife and I currently serve here in Auburn as missionaries with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, though that's not what I'm here for this evening. We reside here in Auburn. During the past year while we've been here, we've tried to integrate ourselves within the community, and I must say I'm impressed. Not be political, but compared to Sacramento, you're doing a much better job. During the course of us being here, and I do have some handouts, so I'd like to give to the clerk here. One of the things we've been doing is working with a nonprofit organization called Spirit Fest, which provides free meals to members of the community without regard to anything to qualify, just show up. It's been a very positive experience. My purpose for being here today is I believe that they deserve some recognition for that, and what I have is a proposal for a city resolution. Now, I'm not sure how that's done here, but I thought I'd get that wheel moving by having my own recommendation for that. So what I'd like, and there's one for each of you, how would I get that disseminated to them?
If you want to give those to the city clerk, she can.
And then I just have some simple pictures. So let me just read my proposal, and then I'll be finished. Resolution, recognition of Spirit Fest as a vital and valuable asset to the city of Auburn, Washington, as a community-based nonprofit food program serving at-risk populations since 1999. Whereas the city of Auburn recognizes the importance of having a source of free, nutritious meals for at-risk children, families, individual shelters, and respite care centers, and whereas Spirit Fest serves nearly 170 free meals per week while additionally supporting Ray of Hope Respite Center, Sundown Night Shelter, and the Auburn Food Bank, and whereas Spirit Fest is 100% self-sustaining, dependent upon the generosity of individuals and organizations for its support, and whereas 100% of its received donations to the Feeding the Poor at Risk and Hungry Without Qualification receives no reimbursement or compensation for volunteer staff for time, transportation, or expenses incurred to provide and administer the program. And whereas Spirit Fest partners with Messiah Lutheran Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Pai Yung Ung Korean Presbyterian Church, SARS Market, community organizations, volunteers, and concerned citizens who have come forward to volunteer. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Auburn, Washington, and I'm assuming nothing. Section 1, the City Council hereby expresses its full gratitude in recognition of Lynn and Brock Snyder as the co-founders of Spirit Fest by designating Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 as Spirit Fest Recognition Day. Section 2, the City Council encourages the collaboration of community organizations, local businesses, and volunteers in the ongoing operation and financial support of Spirit Fest. And Section 3, the City Council extends its gratitude to Lynn and Brock Snyder and the dedicated individuals and organizations who are committed to making Spirit Fest an ongoing reality for our city. In the last section, the resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. And let me just say in closing, I'm a 40-year licensed clinical mental health clinician, licensed drug and alcohol counselor, licensed marriage and family therapist, as well as educator. And having worked with at-risk populations and seeing the work that they're doing and have been doing largely unrecognized and not trying to bring attention to themselves, just trying to provide a service, I'm very impressed. And I would encourage you folks to, if you don't like my resolution, whatever works, to just recognize what they're doing and give some legitimacy to it. Thank you.
Very aware of the Spirit Fest work. Thank you very much, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak this evening? Yes, please come forward, name and city of residence for the record, and please limit comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Josie Hunter. I consider myself a lifelong Washingtonian. My husband and I have been living in Auburn for the past 6 years, I believe now. I just wanted to come because I've been very, very concerned about the things that I've been seeing in the news with what's happening at the federal level, with Elon Musk and Doge coming into all sorts of government agencies and cutting funding and laying off people and impacting a ton of contracts and people that depend on those services. My question is, at our local level, what sorts of things do we depend on from the federal government that might be at risk? And have we considered if there are any steps, any mitigating steps that we can take to try to prevent any impacts for our community to help protect everyone here? So,
Thank you.
that's all.
And so this is not a dialogue back and forth. This is public comment. But I will tell you that our team is looking at every potential. In fact, council received an email today from our Director of Human Services about the consolidated plan that HUD has asked us to put us pause submitting because they're not sure what's going on with their funding yet. So we are very aware of those things, and we are keeping track of them on a daily basis.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for caring about our city. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and city of residence for the record, and please limit comments to 3 minutes.
Better without it. Virginia Haugen. See, we've got Resolution 5811, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Auburn and Segali Properties, LLC, and OTAC Incorporated for consulting services related to the Stuck River Road and Mount Rainier Vista Special Planning Areas. And all of us fools have been down there on R Street Southeast for the last 6 months, wondering why we have to widen R Street Southeast. Well, now I know. They're going to be a brand-new housing project on the other side of the Stuck River Bridge. Gee whiz. I bet nobody has ever mentioned that the mayor of Auburn makes $192,000 a year for a part-time job. And then we have all of these. King County government, Auburn Ave, remembering Auburn Ave Theater. I remember when I got to see a movie there, but I guess somebody donated $4 million to help us build a new theater. If Trump has anything to do with it, we ain't going to get a new theater. Let's see, what else? Left the other one in my car. Let's see. Oh, and then we have ordinance number 6968, an ordinance establishing the local sales and use tax for local revitalization financing for 2025 through 2025. So I guess we're still revitalizing Auburn. Way to go, guys.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak this evening? All right, we will move on from public comment. Sean, do we have any correspondence this evening?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We will move to the consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered by the City Council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Rakes.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
I second that.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Rakes.
Tonight's consent agenda consists of minutes, February 3rd City Council meeting and February 10th study session meeting, and payroll and vouchers as described.
Thank you. Are there any comments, Councilmember Baldwin, from the Finance Special Focus Area?
Yeah, just to note that we had two sets of vouchers, both dated for February 12th, 2025. The first set covered $11,710, and the second batch represented about 20 electronic fund transfers, 2 wire transfers, and totaled approximately $4.32 million. And then we also reviewed our payroll vouchers from January 30th, 2025 to February 12th, 2025 for an amount of approximately $2.98 million. And that covered our payroll checks 539647 through 539654, as well as electronic deposits. And to my knowledge, there were no questions this week, and we would recommend approving.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council, or any items that you would prefer to have removed for separate consideration? All right, all those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Consent agenda passes. Under unfinished business, we do have one item tonight. That is Council Rules of Procedure Ad Hoc Committee Selection. Deputy Mayor Rakes.
Thank you, Mayor. As was mentioned in our study session, we are bringing back the rules and procedures on the 5th Monday of March. And so our rules state that the deputy mayor is an officio on it, but we need to vote on 2 members that council votes on. And so at the study session, I asked if anybody was interested, and we got Councilmember Baldwin and Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
In abstention.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to move on that unless anybody else would like to put their...
Yeah,
Oh,
your microphone
sorry.
is.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Based on the previous study session, I would move to appoint myself and Councilmember Clinton Taylor to the 2025 Council Rules and Procedures Ad Hoc Committee.
All right, is there a second? Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Also, are there any other interested parties Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for this one, Mayor.
So, all right, so you're making a motion,
I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion to nominate myself to be a part of the ad hoc committee.
okay? So is that is an amendment, or do we have to vote down the first?
So she can move to amend the.
Move to amend it, yes.
So I would like to, or I'd move to amend, right?
Move to amend the motion.
The motion, please,
To add.
to add myself to the ad hoc committee for the council rules, policies, and procedures.
Council rules of procedure, yes.
So you would have, unless there's only 3 members, which the deputy mayor is an ex officio member.
Okay.
And so there can only be 2 additional members.
Okay.
And so you would have
So
to.
we'll vote
Okay.
on each council member that has their name in,
So the motion on the floor that has been seconded is
for 2.
for 2.
We have an amendment. If there is a second to the amendment, that would give us 3 council members.
Yes.
So very similar to the deputy mayor process, we would vote and the top 2 would move forward.
That would work.
Okay. Is there a second to the amended motion?
I second.
Councilmember Ammer.
I second, Mayor.
Thank you.
And do I say comment? Can I say comment?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, now we will go to comments. We have 3 council members' names who have provided interest in serving on the ad hoc committee for council rules and procedure for 2025. Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I can step back. I don't have to be on the committee if we got to vote. I mean, I don't necessarily have to. I'd like to be, but if it's just going to simplify it a little bit more, I can step back.
That is completely up to you, Councilmember. You can choose to vote for yourself when we vote, or you can choose to not vote for yourself.
Got you, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Thanks, Mayor. I would like to stay in consideration. I think my understanding of the study session last week was looking to mix it up, and given that Councilmember Ammer and Tracy Taylor had served in the 2024 cycle, opening it up for folks that haven't been on that committee in a while.
Okay. Councilmember Ammer.
So personally, I like to have a prior team, like someone from the team last year with the newest team. So to symbolize everything, to keep it easy. That's why I made them, I was happy to see like Councilmember Tracy Taylor decided to be in on it, so.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I have to also say the same thing as Councilwoman Baldwin stated. And I remember that that's what happened with last year's. We wanted 2 brand new persons on it. I wanted a new one. I was the ad hoc chairperson. I wanted a new one and an older one, and it was not accepted. So I think that this should go the way we've already have done it, had 2 members that have not served in quite a while.
Okay, Councilmember
That's-
Trout Manuel, I don't believe you were the chair of that ad hoc committee last year.
Well, I was the acting deputy mayor, and
Correct.
I was,
But I didn't
Okay.
call on you.
yes, thank you.
So if you would like to make comment, please wait to be called on. This isn't just a conversation back and forth. Councilmember Ammer was the chair of the ad hoc committee last year, determined by the ad hoc committee members. Councilmember Trout Manuel.
The reason I was not chair is because I felt that it would be nice to have a new council member chair it. So that's why Ms. Hanan was chair. But I'd still go back to that I feel that we should have 2 new members, 2 other council members be picked, as we have already, and they've already said that they wanted to serve. and not have somebody that's already served. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other comments? All right, so we are going to do this similar to how we do the deputy mayor. If there are more than 2 people that have put their name in, you will vote twice. You will vote, I will ask for 1 council member, and you will raise your hand if you are voting to add that council member to the ad hoc committee. All right? And then we will do the same for the 2nd council member and for the 3rd council member. Each council member only gets 2 votes. All right? And so this time through, I am going to ask for Sean's sake as well as Taryn's and mine that if you are voting for a council member to be on the ad hoc committee, you raise your hand. All right?
Point of inquiry.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Clerk, could you confirm for me, I believe the typical practice is if there's an amendment and a second on the amendment, we vote on the amendment, and that passes or fails, and then we vote on the original motion.
You're correct.
With a pass or
That's
fail.
my apology on that one. You're correct. All right. Are there any other comments? All right. All those in favor of the amendment to add Councilmember Tracy Taylor to the consideration for the ad hoc committee, please say aye.
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 Well, you have, it's either.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No?
No.
Okay, there is not a majority, so the motion amendment dies
Yes.
for lack of a quorum. All right, so we will move to the original motion, and that was to support and vote to have Councilmember Baldwin and Councilmember Clinton Taylor on the ad hoc committee for the council rules of procedure. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no.
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 Okay, that is a 4 to. That is a 4 to 2, and so Councilmember Baldwin and Councilmember Clinton Taylor will serve on the ad hoc committee. Thank you. All right, moving to ordinances, we have ordinance number 6963, an ordinance amending sections 3.53120, 3.54030, 3.54060, 3.54070, 3.54080, 3.54.140, 3.54.155, and 3.54.210 of the Auburn City Code, ACC, relating to the imposition and administration of the city business and occupation, or B&O tax. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I would move to approve ordinance number 6963.
Thank you. Is there a second? Deputy Mayor Rakes.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance, which we reviewed in our recent study session, is really about continuing to clean up and clarify the administration of our B&O tax. Excuse me. That's all.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments from council? All those in favor of ordinance number 6963, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6963 passes. And Virginia, I'm going to ask that you move away from the podium. Public comment is over for the evening, and we need, thank you. Next. Thank you. Next is ordinance number 6964, an ordinance amending Auburn City Code, Chapter 3.41, related to the administration of the city's solid waste garbage utility tax, and Chapter 3.62, Administrative City Code related to utilities, admissions, and gambling tax. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you. I would move to approve ordinance number 6964.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Second that motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you. So with this update, This is going to provide some additional clarity around our definitions is related to solid waste and some other language cleanup, such as removing monthly filing definitions, removing some tax payment methods that are no longer applicable, et cetera. This was also reviewed in our previous study session. Thanks.
Thank you. Questions or comments? All those in favor of ordinance number 6964, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6964 passes. Ordinance number 6967, an ordinance amending Auburn City Code, Chapter 3.52, related to the administration of city admission tax. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I would move to approve ordinance number 6967.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Second that motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
It's done. Thank you. This ordinance is, you had mentioned, is going to expand our definitions related to admissions for things happening within the city of Auburn. And so what we see with this is this clarifies the applicability of cover charges for reserved seats and tables. It adds examples under the charges for equipment or facility rentals and the things that are included therein. Clarifies when admission tax is applicable for the charge of food and refreshments. It does add some definition language related to elementary or secondary schools, as well as adding examples for the definition of place, which may include private clubs, cabarets, any private club conducting cabaret activities, or other similar places of entertainment, as well as clarifying the definition of subscriptions, including memberships, dues, or fees for sports-type performances. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions or comments? All those in favor of ordinance number 6967, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6967 passes. Ordinance number 6968, an ordinance establishing the local sales and use tax rate for local revitalization financing for 2025. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I would move to approve ordinance number 6968.
Thank you. Is there a second? Deputy Mayor Rakes.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you. This as well we had reviewed in our previous study session, and this is a continuation of a type of tax that we use within the city, a tax credit against the state sales tax, which we typically endorse year over year. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor of ordinance number 6968, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6968 passes. Ordinance number 6969, an ordinance relating to appeal procedures and amending sections 2.46.035, 2.46.160, 5.15.070, 5.22.070, 5.22.090, and 15.76.040 of the Auburn City Code. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Rakes.
I move to approve ordinance number 69.
Your microphone, please.
I move to approve ordinance number 6969.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Ammer.
I second, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Rakes.
Ordinance number 6969 would amend Auburn City Code 1.25.030.A.2 to refine the time period for which a violation of city code is to be corrected, increasing flexibility depending on the type of violation, scope, and requirements for correction.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All those in favor of ordinance number 6969?
Mayor, one moment, please.
Oh.
Mayor, there is a misprint on the agenda bill, and the background for motion is incorrect. So the background for motion that Deputy Mayor Rakes read is not speaking to this legislation.
Okay. No, it would not. It's, so if you just want to, say they're referring appeals or reviews to neutral magistrates, and just read that section. So Deputy Mayor Rakes is going to read a portion of the body of the ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor.
Whereas referring appeals to reviews to neutral magistrates in the judicial branch of the government.
No, read more than
Oh,
that.
read that, okay. Avoids the council as a legislation body from having to act as a, I can never say it,
Quasi-judicial.
quasi-judicial body ensuring trust and accountability in the city processes and procedures.
Good.
Good.
All right. No, that was just reading, that was the explanation after the motion and the second. All right. All those in favor of ordinance number 6969, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6969 passes. Moving to resolutions, we have resolution number 5811, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Auburn and Segali Properties LLC and OTAC Inc. for consulting services related to the Stuck River Road and Mount Rainier Vista Special Planning Areas. Is there a motion? Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt Resolution 5811, please.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Baldwin.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor. The contract work associated with Resolution 5811 will allow the city's consultant to start the important work of evaluating options and potential development impacts of this identified growth center that will shape the future of Auburn for years to come.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. At study session, I had a question as to whether we would be able to extend the period of time for, I think it's the scoping phase, from the 30-day window to a 45. Do we know if that was available, or if that modification was made?
Director Crum.
Yes, we are. That is an option, and we are still working with the consultant on what that community engagement plan is going to be.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments? All those in favor of resolution number 5811, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Resolution number 5811 passes. We will move to mayor and council member reports. At this time, the mayor and city council may report on significant items associated with their appointed positions on federal, state, regional, and local organizations. We will begin with Deputy Mayor Rakes.
Thank you, Mayor. Last Wednesday, Councilmember Yolanda Trout-Manuel and myself was invited to the Senior Center. They were having the Rio Rockers there to entertain during lunch, and it was for the respite program. So it was just a really fun time for them, and it was fun to see the residents from the respite program get up and dance, and we had a really good time. That's my report.
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Yeah, since our last session, I was able to attend a luncheon with the Daughters of the American Revolution. It was their awards event with the Lakota chapter here in the region, where they were celebrating some of our great residents and students for the work that they're doing. And on February, gosh, time is flying, I believe it was the 12th, participated in the orientation for new appointees to the SCA 2025 boards and committees. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Ammer.
I'm trying to look to my calendar, so I look busy. I attend. We had our RIA meeting was in the 13th, so that's one of the meeting I attend. And one of the things we vote for the new co-chair, which will be, that's the majority. Second, I want to use the time to say thank you to the council member Larry Brown for his leadership, and we hopefully, I'm sure we will see him. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I just don't have a report because two of my council members have repeated what I was going to say, but I do want to thank Larry for his service. I had worked with Larry since he came on board, and he was a very pleasant man to work with. He was a good council member. He did not like division, and he tried to keep this council together, and he was a great man, and he's going to be missed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
I will echo my sentiments with fellow council members. Working with Larry when we first came on as new council members, he really took us under his wing, really showed us the ropes, and I will always be forever grateful for his leadership. On February 5th, I serve on the Green River College Developmental Committee, where we discussed donor engagement. February 11th, I attended the Valley Regional Fire Authority, where we discussed some employment agreements. February 12th was a busy afternoon. I serve on the Green River Board Hanford Award Committee for the college, and we talked about some nominees and some finalists. On the 12th, I also attended my very last, and I'm sad about this because it's 14 years, on the Seattle Animal Foundation Board. So I roll off the board and now into the Development Committee. Also, with Councilmember Baldwin, attended the Sound Cities Association PIC issues and committees and orientation. And then on February 15th, I attended the ribbon cutting for a new business in the old arcade building called the I Adore Body Sculpting. I'm excited to see this women-owned business thrive here in our city. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Right. A few items from the last couple of weeks. We did finish up the Safe Auburn follow-up series. The last meeting took place at Chinook Elementary School on February 6th. It was well attended. I think I counted about 50 people there. And as with all of the other Safe Auburn meetings, we went over the second in the series. We went over the top items from the first set of meetings late last year on the public safety issues that concerned the neighbors the most. And then the second portion of the meeting was dedicated to resolution or solutions for community-oriented solutions that the city could be involved in. And always appreciate everyone that came out to those meetings. And then this follow-up series, we realize that we may not always do the best job of telling the story of the work that is being done, the good work that is being done in the community. I want to say thank you to Keisha and Maddie and Jonathan and Jason, who did yeoman's work to make sure that those meetings came off. Thanks to the council members who were there, and a big thank you to the directors who were there as well, as we worked on police issues, parks issues, human services, and public works, as well as community development. So public safety encompasses more than just the police department. There are so many different ways. There were a lot of people concerned with traffic, and having Public Works there to talk about some of the road projects and other things going on. It was a great opportunity for this community to understand a little bit more and for us to do a better job of telling our story on the great work that's being done. There will be another series, I believe, beginning in April. We are also going to be holding meetings with students since part of this started out as juvenile crime issues. We will be working with students at some of the high schools, and also want to say thank you to the partnership with the Auburn School District, especially Dr. Alan Spiciotti, for their generosity in allowing us to use the schools, and for them to be great partners, community partners in the work that is going on. Next, on Saturday, September 8th, I was the MC for the Miss Auburn Scholarship Program, and I want to say thank you and congratulations to Miss Auburn 2025, Chandler Gross, and Miss Auburn's Teen 2025, Malia Watanabe Collier, and am looking forward to their year of service. You will get to meet them at an upcoming council meeting. Their platforms or their community service issues are definitely relevant. One of them, mental health, is Miss Auburn. Her platform is mental health challenges, and so we have a lot of work that we can do with her in the community. On February 13th, I attended Mayor Jim Farrell's State of the City address for the City of Federal Way. I want to give a shout out to our neighboring cities for the great work that they're doing, and also a plug for the Auburn State of the City that will be held February 26th at the Muckleshoot Event Center. And I believe we are sold out at this point, but I do believe it is going to be live streamed for those who are unable to secure a free ticket to go. And the tomorrow and Thursday, many of us on this dais will be in Olympia for AWC, Association of Washington Cities, City Action Days, and council members will be engaging with our representatives and senators in meetings on Thursday. Our delegation all have our council priorities, but it will be a good opportunity for council members to meet with our representatives and talk those over in person. We have no need for an executive or closed session this evening. We are adjourned.